We all remember the funeral at the lake house, the quiet eulogy and the grieving allies. But look closely at the ceremony itself. There is no casket and no final viewing, just a folded flag passed in silence, a detail that changes the entire nature of that farewell. In this timeline, the power surge from the snap doesn't kill the inventor. Instead, it leaves him in a deep coma, his body so ravaged by the energy that he is barely clinging to life. This creates a desperate choice for his inner circle. Faking his death wasn't an act of malice, but a tactical move to protect a man who was too broken to defend himself, even if it meant the rest of the world had to grieve for a hero who wasn't actually gone. His recovery happens in secret, inside an underground Doomsday bunker, originally built to protect his family. It takes years for him to regain the use of his legs, and even longer to relearn the basics of speech. This diagram illustrates the risk his allies were trying to manage. A physically broken hero is a static target, a high-value liability that would draw every surviving enemy in the universe directly to his doorstep. But the logic of security carries a heavy emotional price. His wife and a reluctant AI are forced to maintain a global lie, performing their grief for years while hiding the truth from their closest friends. 8 months into his recovery, he finally wakes up, but he doesn't call for help. He watches the world rebuild through the bunker's monitors and decides that he shouldn't be a part of it. He chooses to stay dead. The burden of the lie is no longer on his family, it's on him. A desperate survival tactic has evolved into a conscious, daily choice to remain in isolation. He becomes a shadow architect, working from the dark to patch vulnerabilities in global defense networks, and funneling his latest breakthroughs anonymously to universities. Without the pressure of his legacy or the scrutiny of the press, he is free to pursue innovations too controversial for his name. This visual shows how his encrypted blueprints bypass traditional nodes, but the data reveals limits. While he fixed code, the world struggled through messy rebuilding. He provided tools, but not the leadership that technology can't replace. This distance is most apparent in his own home. He watches his daughter grow up through security cameras, seeing her face every day while she lives in a world where her father is a memory. We have to look at the scale of his achievements, the lives saved by his secret tech, against the quiet trauma he allowed his family to endure. It forces us to ask what it actually costs to be a savior. The secret holds until he makes a mistake he can't resist. When a global crisis requires a specific power solution, a new reactor variant appears. This energy wavelength schematic shows the problem. It's a perfect match for a signature only one man could have engineered. An old ally with a photographic memory for engineering identifies the work. Within days, the rumor is everywhere. The man who saved the world might still be in it. His physical health is no longer the issue, which raises a new problem. Does he have a moral obligation to reveal himself and end the grief of a world that still mourns him? Or does he stay buried? Stepping into the light would instantly destroy his ability to do the anonymous, high-stakes work keeping the world stable. He is caught between the accountability of his public legacy and the raw, unhindered utility of his life in the shadows. It's worth noting that what follows regarding Dr. Doom is entirely speculative fan fiction, a what-if scenario, and not a reflection of any confirmed film plot. In this scenario, Dr. Doom arrives, an armored despot from a fractured reality. He begins dismantling the new generation of heroes by exploiting technical flaws that were built into the world's infrastructure years ago. The inventor's years in isolation become the key. He hasn't just been hiding, he's been studying alternate reality technology that no one else has even seen, making him the only person capable of recognizing Doom's strategy. He returns to the fight, but not as the hero we remember. He wears a suit built for survival and strategy rather than spectacle, a matte-finished utilitarian tool for a war he never thought he'd have to fight. His success in stopping Doom suggests that his years of hidden sacrifice were the only reason the Resistance had a chance. The isolation, it seems, actually paid off. Once the battle is over, he doesn't take the stage. He stays in the background, refusing the credit and asking his allies for the one thing he hasn't earned: forgiveness. The immediate threat is gone, but the years of silence aren't easily undone. He saved the world, but he did it while his family lived through 5 years of mourning for a man who was secretly watching them. In the end, he chooses to relinquish his power and walk away. He steps into the crowd, finally choosing an ordinary life, but on his own terms this time. It raises a final question about the nature of a hero. If saving the world requires shattering the trust of everyone you love, what is actually left to save?